There you go. Hey, you caught me tinkering with my limited series again. I think we're gonna make a sequel to it, so it's not an event series anymore. It's a limited series, and it's gonna be good, and people are gonna love it. It's season two, and it's gonna be bigger, broader. It's gonna be more Emmy eligible. Imageable is what I was gonna say. And it's gonna be so fun. You know, people love sequels. I mean, people love needless sequels. I wrapped it up in a bow, and I kind of had some cliffhangers and stuff, but you know what? Why not revisit the world? Why not make some more shmoney, as they say? I love saying shmoney. Yeah. So we're gonna do a needless sequel, and nobody can say anything about it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go back from regular show.
It's news time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
Welcome back to News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the needless sequel news that you didn't know about. Sequels are the best way for franchises to start. Shut up, I know what I just said. Sequels are rampant and everywhere. We're getting sequels wherever we go, and it really stinks because things used to be special. I recently watched, I mentioned this before, Air Force One, and you can tell when I shot this. Maybe it all shot in one day. All the episodes previous to this and after this. I just watched Air Force One, and it was fantastic. There doesn't need to be a sequel. There was going to be a sequel, but there doesn't need to be one because it is so good. It's just one movie, start to finish. It's telling one singular story. There is a part at the end where there's a guy who it's from the 90s. It's not from 94, 96. Where a guy turns on America or on Harrison Ford, America Ford. He turns on Harrison Ford, and he's been working with him the entire time. But you don't know why he did it, and there was going to be an explanation. But they don't need an explanation because it's a good movie. But there are other movies that are having sequels. I'm not talking about Conjuring. I'm not talking about the Conjuring universe. That universe needs to be explored. I'm talking about, I don't know, the Quiet Place universe. We don't need part two. We don't need, which was a prequel, in fact. We don't need a movie, a third movie I'm glad they have it because it is introducing people of color to that world. But it's a Quiet Place. They don't need movies. Peter Rabbit 2 didn't need to exist. The Purge, there's way too many Purge movies. Ghostbusters definitely did not need a sequel. Franchises are all over the place, and sure, we've got all these the superhero movies. They can have sequels. A Mission Impossible, it makes sense for those things to exist. But when it's something that can be told in an insular fashion and have one singular story, like A Quiet Place, it doesn't make sense to have all of these movies follow after the fact. Do we really need to see what the John Krasinski's family was up to before and after? We know they survived. It's fine. Listen, speaking of surviving, shortest one yet. Subscribe, check out one of our other videos. Of course, you can head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where there me talking to famous people. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, @CPlusComedy. Follow me @Chad Black White. Listen to the Constitutionals podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. And I got to get back to finishing the sequel for this. Let's see what we got going on here.